To construct a portable conduit bender rack, firstly, gather the necessary materials. You'll need 2x4 or 2x6 lumber for the frame and support arms, 3/4-inch plywood or a metal plate for the base and deck, and heavy-duty casters for mobility. If you intend to motorize the bending process, you'll also require an electric pump motor and hydraulic lines. Essential tools include a circular saw, miter saw, drill, screwdriver or impact driver, measuring tape, and a level. Begin by building the frame. Cut 4 pieces of 2x4 or 2x6 lumber to the desired length and width of the rack base. Assemble the frame using screws or nails, ensuring it is square and sturdy. Secondly, create the base. Cut a piece of 3/4-inch plywood or metal plate to fit the dimensions of the frame. Attach the base to the frame using screws or bolts. Thirdly, install the support arms. Cut 2 pieces of 2x4 or 2x6 lumber to the desired height of the support arms. Attach the support arms to the frame parallel to each other using screws or bolts. Position the support arms to accommodate the Greenlee 777 bender. Fourthly, add the deck. Cut a piece of 3/4-inch plywood or metal grating to fit on top of the support arms. Attach the deck to the support arms using screws or bolts. Fifthly, install the wheels. Attach heavy-duty casters to the base of the frame, ensuring they can support the weight of the bender and materials. Sixthly, if opting for motorized operation, integrate the electric pump. Mount the electric pump motor on the frame. Connect the pump to the hydraulic lines of the Greenlee 777 bender. Provide a switch or remote control for easy operation. Finally, add finishing touches. Paint or stain the rack for protection and aesthetics. Add handles or a tow bar for easy mobility. Consider adding a storage compartment or drawer for tools and accessories. For outdoor use, utilize treated lumber or galvanized metal. Ensure the frame and support arms are robust enough to withstand the weight and torque of bending. Thoroughly test the rack before deploying it on a job site. Adhere to proper safety precautions when operating the bender and moving the rack. The design of the rack should prioritize stability and ease of use. The dimensions of the base should be adequate to provide a stable platform, preventing tipping during bending operations. The height of the support arms should be chosen to allow for comfortable operation of the bender, minimizing strain on the user. The deck should be level and provide a secure surface for the conduit being bent. The placement of the wheels is crucial for maneuverability. Position the wheels strategically to distribute the weight evenly and allow for easy turning. Locking casters are recommended to prevent the rack from moving during bending. When selecting the electric pump, ensure it is compatible with the hydraulic system of the Greenlee 777 bender. The pump should provide sufficient pressure and flow rate to operate the bender smoothly and efficiently. Consider a pump with adjustable pressure settings to accommodate different sizes and types of conduit. The electrical wiring for the pump should be installed in accordance with local electrical codes. Use appropriate gauge wire and ensure proper grounding. A dedicated circuit is recommended to prevent overloading. Safety is paramount when operating the conduit bender rack. Always wear appropriate personal protective equipment, including safety glasses, gloves, and hearing protection. Ensure the work area is clear of obstructions and bystanders. Before bending any conduit, inspect the bender and rack for any signs of damage or wear. Replace any worn or damaged parts immediately. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for operating the Greenlee 777 bender. Use the correct bending shoes and settings for the size and type of conduit being bent. Avoid overbending the conduit, as this can weaken it and cause it to crack. When moving the rack, use caution to avoid tipping or dropping it. Ensure the wheels are locked before beginning any bending operations. Never leave the rack unattended while it is in use. The rack can be customized to suit specific needs. For example, a storage compartment can be added to hold bending shoes, lubricants, and other accessories. A vise can be mounted on the deck to hold the conduit securely during cutting and threading operations. A measuring tape can be attached to the rack to facilitate accurate measurements. The rack can also be equipped with lights to improve visibility in low light conditions. The choice of materials for the rack will depend on the intended use and budget. Lumber is a cost-effective option for indoor use, while metal is more durable and weather-resistant for outdoor use. Plywood provides a smooth and stable surface for the base and deck, while metal grating offers better ventilation and drainage. The finish applied to the rack should be durable and resistant to corrosion. Paint is a common choice for lumber, while powder coating is a more durable option for metal. The rack should be inspected regularly for any signs of wear or damage. Loose screws or bolts should be tightened, and worn or damaged parts should be replaced. The wheels should be lubricated periodically to ensure smooth operation. The electric pump should be serviced regularly to maintain its performance. By following these instructions and tips, you can build a portable conduit bender rack that will make your conduit bending operations safer, easier, and more efficient. Remember to always prioritize safety and follow all applicable codes and regulations. The design should also consider the ergonomics of the user, minimizing strain and maximizing comfort during operation. This can involve adjusting the height of the work surface, providing adequate legroom, and positioning controls within easy reach. The addition of features such as a foot pedal for operating the electric pump can further enhance ergonomics. Furthermore, consider the storage and transportation of the rack. A folding design can make it easier to store and transport the rack when it is not in use. The addition of handles or a tow bar can facilitate moving the rack around the job site. The weight of the rack should also be taken into consideration, as a heavier rack will be more difficult to move. When selecting materials, consider the environmental impact. Lumber can be sourced from sustainably managed forests, and metal can be recycled. The use of low VOC paints and finishes can reduce air pollution. The rack can also be designed to be easily disassembled and recycled at the end of its life. In addition to the basic features described above, the rack can be customized to meet the specific needs of different users. For example, a rack designed for bending large diameter conduit may require a more robust frame and support arms. A rack designed for use in confined spaces may need to be more compact. A rack designed for use in harsh environments may need to be made from corrosion-resistant materials. The cost of building a portable conduit bender rack will vary depending on the materials used, the complexity of the design, and the amount of labor involved. However, it is generally possible to build a functional rack for a fraction of the cost of purchasing a commercially manufactured rack. Building your own rack also allows you to customize it to your specific needs and preferences. Before beginning construction, it is important to create a detailed plan. This plan should include dimensions, materials lists, and step-by-step instructions. It is also helpful to create a scale model of the rack to visualize the finished product. Once the plan is complete, gather all of the necessary materials and tools. It is important to have all of the necessary materials and tools on hand before beginning construction to avoid delays. When cutting lumber or metal, always use appropriate safety equipment such as safety glasses and gloves. Be sure to measure accurately and cut carefully to ensure that the pieces fit together properly. When assembling the rack, use screws or bolts that are strong enough to hold the pieces together securely. Be sure to tighten all of the screws and bolts properly. Once the rack is assembled, inspect it carefully for any signs of weakness or instability. Make any necessary adjustments or repairs before using the rack. Before using the rack for the first time, test it with a piece of scrap conduit to ensure that it is working properly. Be sure to follow all safety precautions when using the rack. By following these guidelines, you can build a safe, functional, and customized portable conduit bender rack that will serve you well for many years to come. Also, consider adding a built-in level to ensure accurate bending and a conduit support to prevent sagging during the bending process. This not only improves the quality of your bends but also enhances the overall efficiency of your work. Furthermore, think about incorporating a tool storage solution directly into the rack design. This could include hooks for hanging benders, shelves for organizing shoes, or drawers for storing small parts and accessories. Having all your tools readily accessible will save you time and effort on the job site. When choosing casters for the rack, opt for those with a high weight capacity and durable construction. Pneumatic tires can provide a smoother ride over uneven surfaces, while swivel casters allow for easy maneuverability in tight spaces. Be sure to select casters that are appropriate for the type of terrain you will be working on. Another useful addition is a power strip with multiple outlets. This allows you to easily plug in your electric pump lights or other power tools without having to run extension cords across the job site. Be sure to choose a power strip that is rated for outdoor use and has a built-in surge protector. When wiring the electric pump, use appropriately sized conductors and follow all applicable electrical codes. A qualified electrician should perform the wiring to ensure safety and compliance. Consider adding a remote control for the electric pump. This allows you to operate the pump from a distance, which can be especially useful when bending large diameter conduit.